Well, as you know, this week is going to be primarily a peer review discussion about your rhetorical analysis essay for Unit 3. Keep in mind for this peer review, like for the last one, our due dates are a little off kilter. You'll have your final comments due by Saturday to give everybody the chance to act on those comments, revise their essays, and get the essays turned in by Sunday night. So I'd like to go over in some pretty good detail the assignment that you're working on, because I find in a lot of classes that the rhetorical analysis essay can be a harder one for people to get their minds around, not so much that the concepts are difficult, but because rhetorical analysis is not something that we're really used to doing in high school English. It's something that often comes with exactly this Composition 1 class, and that's often the first place people have really seen this kind of analysis. So I wanted to really talk you guys through that. We'll start with the instructions for the essay itself. So you're going to write a critical rhetorical analysis of an argument. That argument will be one of the articles from the Module 3 reading packet. In this analysis, you're not going to respond to the topic of the article. So what you generally will not be doing in rhetorical analysis is saying things like, I don't agree with this author, or this article reminded me of whatever. So leave the content for a different kind of essay. Here what you're doing is really focusing on the rhetorical strategies of the author. And the thing that's really exciting to me about looking at the rhetorical strategies of an author is it really allows us to think about how did the author construct the argument? What kind of impact did the rhetorical situation have? How did they respond to that? What strategies have they pulled in to try to connect to the audience with ethos, pathos, and logos? And really importantly, and the thing that's, the reason we do a rhetorical analysis in large part is what can you learn as a writer as you look at this? What's in there that you can pick apart? And I think part of what this does is actually really help make you a stronger editor of your own work and kind of help you have a stronger understanding of how writing itself works, especially persuasive writing. So, as the instructions say, only focus on the way the author makes the argument, not the argument itself. You're going to use specific examples, including quotes and descriptions and other kinds of details from the article that you've chosen to support your analytic claims. In the intro, you're going to want to give a short objective summary of the article. Remember that what that summary does is it really pulls only what the author has said. It pulls the major points of what the author has said. In addition to that summary, you're going to explain your analysis of the article's rhetorical situation. So, who's the speaker, what's the occasion, the audience, the purpose, the subject, and the tone. The intro will then end with your analytic thesis. And that thesis is really going to be making a claim about the argumentation strategies of the article. So what elements of the article are interesting to you? And in the end, the really kind of key thing your thesis is saying is, what is your judgment of the article's effectiveness? Has the author used ethos, pathos, and or logos really, really well to connect to their intended audience for the purpose of that article? Have they missed the mark with that ethos or the pathos or the logos? Have they, for example, used some kind of appeal to emotion, to pathos, that in the moment, on the for the occasion of that article, would put the audience off rather than pulling them in? So think about things like that. How well have they done what they're trying to do? That's going to be what the essay is about. The body of the essay will build your specific claims about the strategies that the author has used. So think about the appeals, think about other kinds of strategies, think about the specific language that the author has used. How do those all come in to support your claim about the effectiveness of the article? So remember to quote phrases where you need to. You can paraphrase, but really try to build in the details that will help your reader walk through the article with you and understand why you make the claim you make. So this is just a quick reminder for soapstone: subject, occasion, audience, purpose, speaker, and tone. That'll be part of that intro. Your ethos is going to be your appeal to character, ethics, or credibility. Within ethos, you can think about the way that the author has established themselves. Why do they have the right to speak on the topic they're speaking on? What kinds of experiences do they represent? You can also think about anything they say about their audience. Are they bringing in some kind of idea that the audience members, the people who buy into this argument, are the type of people who whatever? So that's your ethos. Your logos is, pretty self-evident, I think. It's that appeal to reason or logic. And pathos, the appeal to emotions. What are they feeling? And even more importantly, what are they trying to make you feel? And how do they do it? So I think I talked last week about the Sarah McLachlan commercial with the sad puppies and the Arms of the Angel song. Really what that commercial is doing is it's appealing to your emotion. It makes you feel sad. You don't want to feel sad. And then it gives you a path to stop feeling sad. Give us money, these bad things will stop happening, and then you won't feel bad about them. Which I know is a really cynical interpretation, but that's kind of how the pathos works in that. In the same way, a speaker might promise you that something will improve your life. You'll be happier because of this. You'll feel proud. I think we've seen a lot of the work with American identity, appealing to pride in some ways, to shame in others. Maybe we feel bad about something that's happened or that the author's brought up to us. Maybe we feel really proud to be part of a country that blahs, right? So what are those emotions? All right. And then finally, for your conclusion, go back to your overall assessment of the effectiveness of the article's argument. Think about intended audience and purpose. Think about what they did really well, what didn't go so well. And remember with the conclusion, if you're still adding information, you're not done writing. So your conclusion will just wrap up everything you've said. All right, so that's the end of that little walkthrough. And definitely, if you have questions, if you're not sure whether you're getting more into the content of the article than the rhetorical analysis side, feel free to write me, ask questions on the discussion board, or throw it out to your classmates. Have a great week, and I'll see you on the discussions.